All right, moving on to turn 6. Let's just jump right in it. I think we don't need to recap much. You can go watch the other video if you need to. So let's get in there with Italian event phase. They roll a 2. 2 is colonial troops forward. Recruit and deploy 2 Italian colonial units, and they get 5 AP. That is actually perfect for what the Italians want to do this round. So they're going to go up to the 5 AP. They get 2 Italian units. So let's take the leader, because that's the most expensive unit. And let's see, how much else do we have in here? We also have light infantry, engineers, and a caravan. So we'll get leader. And might as well take the other colonial light troops. I think that's a good stack. Pretty decent stack right there. Okay. So after that, we do AP generation. So we go check their Italian leaders on the map. There are now 4 Italian leaders. So that's going to bring them up to 9. From 5 to 9. And let's see, Italian ports. We already have 3 ports, so that's going to automatically, before we do anything, we have enough to get to the full 12. We can't exceed 12, but we're at the full 12. So this is the best possible thing that the Italians could get for this round. And now we're going to move on to recruitment phase. So one thing they're going to do immediately is pay 1 to build a forward base over in Benghazi. So they can do because the C column has an engineer. So we do that. Let's see, what do we want to, is there an engineer over here? I don't remember. No. So we're going to spend half a point for an entrenchment. And then we're going to spend I want to spend the other half point on another entrenchment for somewhere. Maybe here, just because. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter that much, but we got the other half to spend. Okay, next thing they want to do is they're going to spend 3 points, down to 7, to get that last naval asset. Because I think they need to start working on the Aegean now. And then we'll spend 2 points for a composite cavalry that we'll add over to the colonial stack here. And maybe 1 point for regular infantry. And we'll just put him directly into the C column. I think that's good enough for now. Yeah, really need to get a. This is unfortunate because I really want to get a supply, maybe the truck even supply truck over with the C column, but it's been kind of a mess. It's more points we got to spend. We need at least 2 to do an Aegean operation, so I don't think we really want to do that yet. But then again, we can always try to do Aegean for the next couple turns, because we definitely want to start going offensive here. And I think they're going to want to go offensive in this region here. Do we have? Yeah, there is a supply wagon, so we can at least get 3 columns kind of moving. All right. So then let's head on over to the March phase. Sullivan's pretty beefy. So if we were to risk a conflict, we want to try to make sure that we have the battle advantage as much as possible. And with the advanced rules, airplanes have a range of 5 from a base. 4, 5, yeah, so they can't even quite reach here. So we need to go all the way down here and build a base. Yeah, it's going to be very tricky to kind of move this stuff. Unless we were to move inland and just build another base somewhere else. But so that's kind of the issue there. Wonder if we want to maybe move C column down to I had a thought. I just realized I got the static units, and I think I need to. That's what I should have spent that half point on. All right. I am gonna redo that half point for the entrenchment, and instead use that half point for a static unit, static militia. I want that in Benghazi. All right. I'm not gonna. I know it's kind of a mulligan-ish thing, but just didn't think about that half point. I forgot about the buying militia on there. Whatever, it's fine. Complain about it in the comments, or not. I don't care. Then let's go. Let's do this. We're gonna move. I'm gonna spend 1 AP point, and we're gonna move the C column now down to, because we'll still kind of be covering the approach unless they try to really move on that way, which I think we can cover our bases here fairly well. So 1, 2, 3, excuse me, 1, 2, 3. I think that's good enough there. We're occupying that town. That'll give us a point to kind of move on this oasis later. Because the farthest we can go is 3, so be 1, 2, or 2, and then 3. One more point, we could try to make an attack, but without the possibility of, it would be 2v2, and it just hurts our, it would suck so much to hurt our chances like that, and we don't have a supply column to help deal with the potential issue of like a plus to this CRT or to be stuck out in the desert. Like, it's just a bad scene, so we're not going to do that. And then moving in desert outside of the road here, the track is just a big mess. It's I think 2 movement costs for deep desert. We don't want to try to move through like that. It's going to be a problem. Now we can try to cover, because this is going to be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to require at least 3 resource points for them to strike at Benghazi. And it's going to leave them fairly vulnerable. So that's really not necessarily a good idea. They would really want to try to move to hit the C column. Now with 1 more point they could spend without doing Aegean operations, we can kind of try to figure out what we want to do here. It might even be, let's see, 1, 2, 3. It might even be a bad idea to cover this base. And that will actually prevent that. And trying to go around this way is just an even worse mess than trying to go that way. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's actually the same cost. I suppose, because that has a supply wagon too. That's going to be 2, because we'd have to move multiple things out to cover all the tracks here, though. Yeah, it's not necessarily the best way to do it. Tough call. Let's see, what we can do over here. With 3 points, and if we go up against Mustafa Kemal, Kemal's got a pretty big force, so do the Italians, and they can get quite a few advantages because they'll be able to use their planes and the naval assets. That means we wouldn't have enough to use any action points or have enough naval assets, so if we did the 1 attack, regardless of how it went, and then we did the naval action, we'd only be able to spend 2 ships, which would weaken our chances here and potentially open us up to a defeat. But at the very least, weaken our chances at scoring our ultimate victory here, and possibly even more, or possibly even just the TN's tactical victory. So it's not, I mean, necessarily a bad thing to do, because we still have at least two more turns, maybe even 3, because we can choose to end the scenario at 9. So we have 3 more turns really to do the Aegean operation and score those extra AP and extra victory points. I think securing the coast is ultimately more vital for the end game than securing the Aegean Islands. So I think we should just go for it. Yeah. Let's see. They still have naval guns too, so it's going to be a -1. I mean, excuse me, only a +1 on the naval asset. You know what? Let's do it. Let's risk it. This is a tough call, but we're going to do it. Okay. Attacking into, whatever it was, the city. Homes. I always keep forgetting some of these names. All right, attacking into homes. Let's deploy our naval assets, and we're going to deploy our plane. And they're going to expend their, I don't know if there's a reason to really bring the engineers, but oh well. We're going to expend our supply. Will Kamal expend his supply as well? Yes. He's going to bank that he's going to get the advantage and be able to inflict some serious damage on the Italians. So he's going to do it. And that's going to net us with overall a +3 to this attack. Or excuse me, to the battle advantage roll for this attack for the Italians. And we have a +2 for the Ottomans. So let's do it. Wow. Okay. The Italians' gamble has paid off. They have the advantage. So their total strength here, we got 10, 18, 22, 24, 26. Oh, I did not actually do the math before this, so I didn't realize how bad this is going to be. 26, 32, 34. So that puts them on the 28 to 35 range. Then it would be +1 for the naval asset, +1 for expending the supply. But it's only but then a -1 for the enemy base or fortification. So they're rolling on the 36 to 44 line. Okay, they're going to be doing some bad damage no matter what. Let's see it. Oh, 2. Oh, kind of a lucky break for the Ottomans here, because they were very close to ultimate defeat here, but that's 6 damage. Okay, oops. Knocked over those guys. 6 damage. Okay, well, they're going to get rid of these 2 tribal cavalry for sure, so that's 4 steps. They have 2 left. Getting rid of the engineers is kind of bad news. But they don't want to eliminate the best units. Are engineers replaceable? Yes. Okay, the engineers are replaceable. Of course, if the Italians succeed in the Aegean operations, they wouldn't be able to recruit them back anyway. But they're going to have to risk it because they need to do some damage. So they're going to say bye-bye to the engineers. And we're going to get rid of, so the naval assets are expended. Let's roll on the air support. Roll to 4. That's a return. So place the air support marker in the Italian air support box. It can be reused this game turn. So that's a good, lucky for them. They can possibly reuse that. Now the Ottomans are going to respond on their combat. So they have 2, 6, 10, 14, 17. So they're rolling on the 15 to 20 table. And they expended their supply, so there's the 21 to 26. So they have a, ooh, let's see what they can do here. A 1. Oh no, that's so they do 3 damage. So it's not great for the Italians. You know, it sucks to take the damage, but they got off real lucky there. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, let's go. The engineers are so useful to have. We'll take... I'll just eliminate one of these. No, because I want to keep them out in the field or possibly rally, so... Yeah, we'll exhaust those units. Alright. Pretty good show for the Italians there. Now, next up, they're going to spend another AP, and they're just going to attack again, because there's no reason not to just keep pressing. Now, they're going to deploy their naval assets again, and that aircraft. And they're not going to be doing Aegean operations now, and they don't have any supply units to spend, but neither do neither does Kamal. So that's pretty rough. Coming in with those assets again. So it's a +2 to each roll for the battle advantage, because the Italians no longer get their bonus for all their units in good order. So it's a tie. So then the defender has a fortification, so then they have the advantage. Now, do they... The Ottomans have a choice here. Do they want to try to go for it and just inflict more damage? Or do they want to withdraw? Because withdrawing, I'm not going to... It sounds actually pretty tempting right now. Because it's just going to... The problem is, if they withdraw, obviously they're going to cede homes to the Italians, basically. But it may be worth it. It may be worth doing solely because keeping these units intact, except for these guys are going to be destroyed no matter what. Because if we withdraw from here, they can't actually withdraw, but I think they just die. I'm going to treat it as they're abandoned. These 2 units can't be replaced, and they're very good at 4/4s. So I don't think it's a good idea to stay and fight anymore. I'll be honest. Yeah. I'm going to withdraw. We're going to withdraw. We don't want to sit there and slug it out. Even if we eliminate some Italian units, they're getting so many points now that they'll be able to replace them fairly easily, and it's just not worth losing those guys at this juncture. It's better to retreat back, and I think fight in the interior is going to be a better option here. Let me check the withdrawal rules. So notifying that player executes the retreat procedure. Okay, so it's just like a regular retreat. So let's roll the dice to see how many hexes they retreat. 2? Yeah, 2. Okay, so that's going to be... That might not save them, though. So they retreat over to Misurata. The Italians are going to enter. That means this is eliminated, and I'm going to say the guns are eliminated as well. So they've now occupied Misurata. These naval assets used. Oh, we got a roll for the plane. A 6, which I believe was a return. Yep. So now that the Italians have the extra point, and they aren't going to be able to move into the Aegean, should they pursue again? I'm going to play them. I'm going to say no. And in fact, I'm going to use that last point instead to rally that army. And with that, they're back to full strength except for the lack of supply. And I think that's a good way to kind of end that phase there. All right. Now we're going to go on to the Ottoman. So no Aegean operations. We're going to move on to the Ottoman event phase. 3. 3 is a jihad. Roll 1 die and recruit deploy that number of tribal units. It's so unlucky that they haven't had the Sensui Rebellion. That would have been so important. 5. So we can get 5 tribal units, which I think we have 4. They're all cavalry. 4 tribal units. We can actually recruit all of those directly back into Mustafa Kemal's army, which doesn't seem like a bad idea, especially because they can absorb hits for us. So we're going to do that. And that's worth 4 AP, so that's going to put them up to 6. Then Ottoman leaders for the generation 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to be at 9. Bases on... we have 1 on an oasis here. That's worth 1. We have port towns. We have 1, and oases with that are occupied is 2, 3. That's an oasis. These are not, right? No, those are just towns. So 3 is worth 1.5 points, which we round up, so that's 2 more. So that puts us at the full 12. Not bad. Recruitment phase. So when we were by the engineers, they can be an Ottoman occupied town or oasis. Okay, so we'll spend the 2 points to get the engineers back. To column B. We'll spend 1 point to build. I believe this is legal. I think we can do this. So we're going to build 1. Oh, shoot. There's actually, I forgot the static unit there. Would that be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Yeah, that wouldn't fit. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, then we'll build the engineers. We'll build them here at this oasis in Murada, and we'll build the base here. Not my ideal situation, but it'll have to do. And we're going to spend 1 point, build these light cavalry guys, whatever they're called, and we'll build them. Should we put them in the same spot? I think so. We'll do it. All right. Supply wagon. We're gonna rebuild. Nope. Can't. I didn't think that entirely through. It's unfortunate. You know what though? I did a mulligan for the Italians. Let's do a mulligan for. Yeah, we'll do a mulligan for them. Actually, we'll do that. Instead of the engineer thing, we'll do this. We'll do that. Mulligan there. And we'll drop this guy. Yeah, we need to defend against that C column, so we're going to drop him in that one as well. Okay. Do we want to recruit? Is there any good value in recruiting that last supply column? I don't know. I don't think so, because then it'll be risky, because then if the Italians attack that and it isn't expended and they capture it, it's a mess, so we're not going to do that. All right, now on to the March phase. I think what we're going to need to do here to disrupt, we're going to need to strike back and disrupt the Italians. So we're going to spend 1. We're going to try to deal with that C column before it gets too strong. So we're going to march with our A, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to fight here, and we're going to deploy an uprising. See if we can successfully pull that off. So that's 7 points there. So all good. Let's try it out. See what happens. We'll go 1 to a 3 to see if the uprising succeeds. It does not. Sad. All right, uprising is a failure. Put that back in the box. But we still go ahead with the attack. We are not going to expend our supply wagon because this is a little too risky at the moment. So we're going to try this 1, see how it goes, and then pull back if it doesn't go well, because we can't risk a protracted battle here. It's just the strategic situation is not in our favor for that. So we're going to hit them with the battle advantage. So that's going to be a +2 for both. Italians get it. Do the Italians want to fight, or do they want to retreat? I think they want to fight because they have some heavy hitters in the C column, and they can do some damage here. So they're going to fight. So they have 4, 12. It's 18, 20, 25, 29, 31. So they're going to be rolling on the 28 to 35 table. Yeah, it's worth it for them to just do it. A 2. They just never quite get. They get the firepower lined up, and they just never quite get what everything they want. So they get a roll of 2. That's a 5. So 5 damage over here. So we're going to eliminate both of the light units here, and we'll take a hit on the cavalry. Okay. Now the Ottomans fire back. 3, 4, 7, 10, 13, 15, 16. So they're firing here on the 15 to 20 table. They still have a chance to do some real damage. Let's see. That's a 4. Okay, 4 on the 15 to 20. That's 4 points of damage. That's pretty good. Not the best they could have gone, but it's not bad. So we'll eliminate. These engineers are pretty valuable for what they want to do, but we'll eliminate 1 infantry. And we'll take 1 hit of damage on that and that. Yeah. So that attack didn't quite go as well as we wanted. We probably should have used the supply, but didn't. So that's what happened there. I think we can still pull it off. So they are going to do it again. They're going to spend that in their attack. They're going to drop another uprising marker to try again. Oh, I forgot. They were on a town because that failed. So that actually would have been only 3 points of damage against the Italians. So let's actually bring that infantry back up to strength. Yeah. We'll do that instead. And now, yeah, so uprising. Do we want to spend we're going to spend the supply because we want to get that extra CRT. And if it doesn't go well, we still have AP to spend to pull back. So then that's an uprising, 1 to 3 to see if it succeeds. It does. Okay. So the uprising gives us a +1 to our battle advantage roll, and it negates the town hex that the Italians are in. So it's now the +2 on the battle advantage roll for the Ottomans and +1 for the Italians. So it's a tie. So we'll go, does the defender have a fortification or a base? No. So then the advantage stays with the attacker. So that's going to be the Turks. So the Turks get to fire first. And same thing as we did before. It was the 15 to 20 marker this time, but for real. So they don't get, it is not the negation back to on the 10 to 4. A 1. That does 2. So that's going to, do we want to lose 4? Or do we want to lose 3? 3 points. I think, yeah, we'll just have to get the engineer back. So we'll eliminate the engineer and take 1 hit on the column. Okay. Now it goes to the Italians. No, not for battle advantage, but the Italians. So their new total is going to be 10, 16, 21, 23. So they're going to be rolling on the 21 to 27 table. It's still a good table. 2. They just never quite get the break there. So that's 4 points. So that'll eliminate 1, 2, 3. And we'll take a hit on the composite cavalry. Oof. They've been bloodied up pretty bad. So have the Italians, but it's not worth pressing anymore. So we're going to spend the 1 AP, and we're going to pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to pull back into here. We'll regroup with these units that were recruited earlier. So we still have a semi-potent force over in. Though, if instead of just sitting on the defensive, now that we've kind of regrouped with them. Yeah, let's do it again. 4. Spend another point. Moving this regrouped A column. Except I'm going to leave behind. No, because we still got more uprising markers. So, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Attack. I'm going to use the uprising marker. 1 to a 3. Does not succeed. Unfortunate. Battle advantage roll is going to be 2 for the, 1 for the Ottomans and 1 for the Italians. +1, that is. So Ottomans maintain. And their new total, 3, 5, 7, 10, 13, 15, 17. So 15 to 20 roll. Attacking into a town, though, so it's onto the 10 to 4. Rolling on the 10 to 4. 2 points of damage. So the Italians will eliminate this infantry, and they'll take 1 point of damage on their light infantry. And they'll fire back, because they want to hold. Well, they have to fire back. They didn't have advantage, so. But this artillery is going to be doing a lot here. So 11, 17, and 19. So they're in the 15 to 20. A 2 on the 15 to 20 is 3 points, 3 hits. So we'll eliminate this cavalry, and I think we'll take a hit on this guy here. And we're going to spend another point. We really need to destroy this Italian column. We're very close now. Here we go. Attacking into it. With that, does the uprising succeed? No. Oof. Still no succeeding on that. Ouch time. Ouch. You know what? I didn't do this before, partly because I forgot about it, but we're in range of that, so we're actually, the Italians are going to deploy their air force. So that'll give us the +1 the battle advantage, and because this is a defensive battle, it'll actually subtract from the critical combat results table. of the Ottomans more. So that will actually be a -2 to their combat results table with that, assuming it can stay in play. So now the Italians are rolling 2 for their battle advantage, and the Ottomans are rolling 1. Oh, well, then no matter what, Italians got the battle advantage. So they want to inflict losses? Yes, I think they do. Even though it's not necessarily wise right now to stay, they're going to anyway, because trying to retreat could potentially put them in a bad spot where they don't have a supply wagon. So if they don't get enough on their retreat roll or get too much, they're not going to be able to retreat to the safety of Benghazi. So we got 5, then 11, 19. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So still 19. So 15 to 20. Come on, they not that high roll this time. They really want to stick it to them. 1. 2 points. Oh boy. They just can't be. They're so close to doing so much damage, and they just can't quite stick it. All right, now the Ottomans are going to attack with 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 10 to 14, -2 down to the 3 to 5. Oof. Oof. 1. They don't do anything. We're not going to continue anymore because this is potential to go too bad. So we're going to retreat back into the safety here. And let's roll on the Italian table over there. 4. Let's return. So the planes are back into their asset box. And let's just go straight to the rally phase because we don't want to try to risk anything now without enough AP left over for Kamala or anything. So we'll go straight to rally, spend the 1 to rally this force. Because oof, that is a problem. We'll leave that 1 point in reserve. And that'll be the end of the Ottoman turn and the end of turn 6. A lot of craziness going on. Big moves, big pushes. Pretty interesting.